Hello. In this first segment, we will discuss wiper packaging, pre-wetted wiper packaging and dry wiper packaging, and how packaging will affect the performance of a glove. Let's look at a typical industry-leading glove. This glove is manufactured by Texway. The first thing I like to point to is it says that the glove is 9x9 nominal. That doesn't necessarily mean that the glove is actually 9x9. Upon our critical examination, sometimes these wipers are as little as 8.1 by 8.25. So when it says nominal, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting a full 9x9 wiper. This is very important when talking to a client because the size of the wiper affects its performance characteristics. Another thing I like to point out that these wipers are bag in a bag, but if you'll notice the inner bag across the top has perfs in it. The reason why it has perfs so it's easy to tear, but the challenge with having perfs in it means that it allows there to be air within the glove, within the wiper. The challenge with this packaging is when you take a polyester substrate and you rub polyester up against polyester with plastic, you can create a static charge or a tribo charge. This can result in you having a hot wiper, literally a wiper that can and will attract particles. So the first thing I wanted to illustrate is make sure when clients are comparing wipers that if it says 9x9, our product is all 9x9 plus or minus a half an inch. So you know that there's a tolerance to our wiper size. Another advantage is you always want to make sure that the product is completely vacuum packed. Vacuum packed makes sure that there's going to be no ambient air. This air could be contaminated and wipers can rub up against each other. Another advantage of our product, as you can see illustrated here, is our wiper takes up very little space versus this product which takes up a lot of space. So your shelf space is going to be easier to inventory, and you also have the assurance of quality control knowing that because it's vacuum packed, if the air were to be released in this, you would know that the bag has been tampered with. There's no way to know if this bag has been tampered with because it's really not vacuum sealed. So that's a subtle difference with dry wipes. The first question to ask is really, what is the size of the wipe? If there's less size, it means less performance, and then is it vacuum packed? Let's talk a little bit about packaging differences with pre-wetted wipes. The most common packaging configuration for a pre-wetted wipe is a foil pouch. And how you open a foil pouch is you take an adhesive label and you pull this label back and then you remove the wipe. This packaging is over $2 per pouch. The reason this packaging is so expensive is you can't put an alcohol wipe just in a normal bag. This has to be a laminated bag, and this adhesive is a very costly adhesive because the adhesive is compatible with the solvent, and yet it's resealable and it won't leave cross-contamination. So the challenge with this packaging is every 30 wipes you go through, you're throwing away $2 in packaging. The other disadvantage, if the operator doesn't properly close this, and I'll just illustrate for what will often happen, is a pouch will be sealed this way, and you can see the gap in the pouch. If there's a gap with the seal, these wipers will dry out. So even though somebody's saying a pre-wetted wiper, not all packaging is the same. The Valutek packaging offers the distinctive advantage of being a resealable pail that has a hinged lid. This hinged lid, if you look at the top of the hinged lid, it has a U-channel. The advantage of this U-channel is the U-channel seats in the top of the tub so that when we close this, we have a positive click and we have the assurance that none of the wipers are going to dry out. There's also less ongoing waste because we pack 75 wipers to a package, and having 75 wipers means that there is less waste. And I'll illustrate that when you open the refill bag and you take them through the pass-through, the bag in the bag, and you put them in the pail, you're only throwing away one bag for 75 wipes versus one pouch for 30 wipes. So you're reducing your waste, you're reducing your landfill, and then the benefit of the bucket is the bucket can stay in the clean room. Some clean rooms actually modify their benches so they put holes in the work surfaces, so these are flush mount so they don't take up as much room. Typical shelf life for a wiper in a pouch, once the pouch has been opened, is less than a month. The reason for the short shelf life is because, as you can see, as this is repeatedly opened and closed and opened and closed, you fatigue the hinge, right? And by fatiguing the hinge and you mitigate the aggressiveness of the adhesive, it dries out. And when it dries out and you don't have a great seal, your wipers will dry out. The advantage of the Valutek packaging for pre-wetted wiper is with the hinged lid, you have a positive click. We have clients that have successfully used this pre-wetted wiper for now over 8 years. They're used in some equipment chase areas where they only go to the chase once a month. We have experiences where these wipers can stay fully saturated for over 6 months because there's the positive hinged lid. Thank you.